All right. Hello, everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with the weekly ecom planning session. So, my passion is helping people on their e commerce journey, helping them to get organized, get focused, get consistent in their business. If that's you, I'm here for you. We are going to be covering today's session is on Amazon versus Walmart. And this is part two. If you didn't get a chance to check out part one, definitely go check that out. Um, And before we get into the Amazon versus Walmart, again, this is the weekly ecom planning session. So after we go through the comparisons of the two platforms to sell on, then we're going to go through the weekly ecom planning session. So definitely go get your notebook and pen so we can cover the weekly ecom planning session. So the next thing is that because we are live on Clubhouse, we're also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. I invite you to go and download the daily, the weekly, and the monthly ecom planning sheets so that you know what you should be focused on in order to make some progress in your business in 2023. So you can go into the e-commerce planning Facebook group, and then once you get there, look at the menu options. One of them will be files. So once you click on files, then you'll be able to download the daily, weekly, and monthly planning checklist. And that way you'll have the opportunity to begin the process of planning for your success next week. So with that, I forgot to pour me a cup of water before this thing started. So give me just a second. And I don't even think my mic is in. So let me fix that too. Always a challenge. I thought the mic was in, and it's not. So let me get my mic set up. I'm sorry about that, guys. That's what happens when you go from place to place. We started our workshop yesterday, and I forgot to reconnect everything when I got back. It's totally my fault. All right. Hopefully you can hear me a little bit better now. So our topic for today is Amazon versus Walmart. If you didn't get a chance to go check out part one, definitely go check out part one. And in this discussion about Amazon versus Walmart, we're going to be talking about which platform might be better or easier for sellers. So we don't have necessarily a pros and cons sheet. We just have our lovely bullets, but I did kind of bold which one is sort of the winner. So if you want to say this one is the winner over that one, I've kind of bolded it just for my own personal opinion. This is what I feel like who the winner is. So when it comes to selling on Amazon, I feel like from a seller standpoint, there's definitely more competition. There's more sellers on Amazon. So if you're looking for an opportunity to get more sales and or more exposure, I won't say necessarily, yeah, it might be more sales, get more sales, but get more exposure to your listings and or your product, you have a better chance of doing that on Walmart because there's fewer sellers and there's fewer competition. When it comes to fees, both of the platforms have, I will say, similar selling fees. You know, the average is around 15%. Some of them are 8% for the referral fee, and some of them are all the way up to 45% on Amazon. But from a standpoint like them, when you compare the fees side by side, like a lot of them, I would say at least the vast majority of the referral fees are similar, but Amazon has a bunch of extra fees on top of it. And so as a seller, it might be better for you to be able to sell on Walmart because you're going to have less hidden fees. You have just the referral fee. You don't have the, $39.99 for the professional membership. You don't have any of the extra fees that Amazon's going to hit you with. So if you're just looking referral fee to referral fee, there's going to be some similarities. But if you're looking at all the other fees, yeah, Walmart wins. And they have fewer other fees, if you want to put quotation marks in the air. Now, when it comes to presence online, Amazon wins hands down. They have a bigger presence, but Walmart is coming for them. Let me just say, I think on Black Friday, we kind of looked at those numbers that Black Friday, actually more people started with Walmart on searches just on that day, the start of the day. Now that didn't hold true for the rest of the day, but that's not bad for Walmart to be able to get that share of searches on Black Friday. And that's not common as far as starting the day searching there. So from a standpoint of online presence, e-commerce presence, Amazon still wins, but Walmart is right behind them. They've knocked everybody else out behind them. And I believe strongly it has to do with their partnership and relationship with Google so that they come up more in the search engine because more people do Google searches than they do Yahoo or Bing or any other searches. And the next is name recognition. So both of them have a huge name recognition. Both of them do. And both of them, it's a platform that people trust. Walmart. I mean, I think when it comes to trust, people definitely trust. They have a bigger trust of Amazon over some of the other marketplace platforms. And Walmart has customer trust, but that's 100% based on the fact that they've spent a lot of time building the brick and mortars. So the customer trust is there, but it's definitely tied directly to the brick and mortar presence. But the one thing that Walmart wins over Amazon is that the lower pricing. People think of Walmart that they think that they can potentially find it for a lower price, whether it's in the store physically or online at Walmart. And Walmart is known for the lower price. That's not always 100% true, because if you ever go shopping with me and we do some price comparisons, I can tell you there's a bunch of stuff that's not cheaper at Walmart. But the point is the what is the word that I'm looking for? It's just the association that people think that they can get stuff cheaper at Walmart. So they win hands down over Amazon because people think they're going to pay a higher price for some products on Amazon. Okay. The next one is creating your account. So as a seller, I feel like it is easier to create an account on Amazon than it is on Walmart. So Walmart is going to require you to have some other things in place, and they're going to check. Now, both of them are going to do some checking. Like, you're going to have to send them information. Walmart needs you to have an EIN, and then they also are going to go verify your seller history. So if you don't have any seller history, getting started on Walmart is going to be a little hard. So for 2023, if you want to get started on Walmart, know that you need to make sure that you have an EIN, not your social security number, where you can create your account on Amazon with your social security number. The other thing is that you got to have some seller history. So, you got to get going on some of the secondary platforms so that, or not necessarily secondary, but the other marketplaces, establish an account on eBay and be very, very consistent so that you can use that as a reference. If you're going to sell on Amazon, again, be very, very consistent so that you can transition and move over to Walmart in 2023. Make that your mission for first quarter and second quarter. Work on your consistency, work on making sure that, you're doing everything to help you get your numbers up so that Walmart takes you seriously as a seller. So I think once you get your account started, everything else will be easier to work with, but definitely work on those things so that you'll be able to create an account on Walmart and become a seller. The next is creating and managing listings is similar. I was going to actually say which one I think is the winner. I think creating listings is more involved on Amazon than it is on Walmart. Walmart's going to require UPC, whereas Amazon has the exemption process. But when it comes to UPCs, and I think Walmart is working on that. There are some cases where you can put up a listing, but they're still expecting something. So you're going to have to get a GS1, buy some UPCs or whatever. But I do think it's easier to create a listing on Walmart over Amazon. There's like Amazon has, I call it like is it the 8-page or 10-page panels, whereas Walmart has 3 pages, but you scroll down to fill in the stuff. So again, I feel like it is a little bit easier, but managing your listings, if that's a manual listing. Both of them allow you to upload your files, but I feel like Walmart has made it so much easier to do mass uploads. Like they encourage it. Whereas Amazon is a little more involved. You got to go hunt and peg, try to get some things straightened out in order for you to, get listings uploaded. Also, both of them have integrations when it comes to allowing you to import listings. So there's a lot of options there when it comes to both platforms. So, but I do feel like Walmart is easier. I feel like Walmart is the winner here. I really do. But we'll say that both of them allow the flexibility to upload listings. But Walmart really gives you the opportunity to do that much. I feel like it's easier and it's more straightforward. Like it's the one thing that they want you to do from the jump, whereas Amazon, not necessarily. I don't think that that's where they start. I think they start with assuming that the majority of sellers are going to do a manual. So next is the pricing rules. I feel like Walmart does have some pricing rules that both of them have pricing rules, period. Like you'll get those emails from Amazon saying the price is too high. It'll actually show up on your seller dashboard. And so they'll suggest that you lower the price or that it's selling for this price. Whereas Walmart will delist your listing, like they will take it down. So I feel like there's a few more pricing rules that you need to pay attention to on Walmart than there is on Amazon. Because again, they are sticking with that, or at least the impression that people have is that they have the lower price. So that's the one thing that you have to keep in mind when you are selling on Walmart versus Amazon. The buy box, both of them, I think that there's a lot of different things that play into the buy box and the buy box rotation. I feel like early on it was easier to get the buy box on Walmart. I think they've added some more things over the last year, but I still think personally it's probably easier to get the buy box on Walmart than it is on Amazon. But both of them are looking at your seller matrix and they're both taking into account some other things. So both of them allow you the opportunity to get the rotation of the buy box, but I think you get a better chance getting the buy box on Walmart than it is on Amazon, and I think that's due to the fact that there's fewer sellers, there's less competition. So I think that you get it much easier, much quicker because there are fewer sellers. Whereas Amazon, it's got to, it's got to do all these comparisons against other sellers. So as Walmart gets more sellers on their platform, that buy box rotation may get a little more interesting than it is right now. But if you're the solo person, you're going to get the buy box. Same thing with Amazon. If you're the only person, you're going to get the buy box. But the point is that I think that the rotation of the buy box is much quicker on Walmart. Fulfillment fees. I feel like when it comes to fulfillment fees, if you're going to use Walmart's WFS, Walmart Fulfillment Services, or even if you're using Deliver, like Walmart allows you the opportunity to do the integration with Deliver versus Amazon FBA. Amazon FBA clearly has higher fees. They do. So I feel like Walmart is the clear winner here. But there's a few other things that Amazon has that Walmart doesn't, and there's some things that Walmart has that Amazon doesn't when it comes to fulfillment. So I do feel like Walmart does have lower fees. Both of them charge you extra during Q4, but there's more options. So when it comes to those people that are international sellers, you have way more options on Amazon. Walmart only wants to receive your inventory, in the US, and that's it. Sorry, not yeah. And so you don't have a lot of flexibility if you're an international seller, period. You have to have a presence in the US right now, and you have to have, a fulfillment, your inventory's coming in, or at least, received in the US. But Walmart does have some other services that Amazon doesn't offer. Amazon does have, they allow you to ship in more bulk. So I think it's 150 versus in bulk shipments versus Walmart's 30, if I remember that correctly. So they have some limitations on the Walmart side when it comes to international and also doing bulk shipments in. So I don't know why one of them is not highlighted, but the winner for at least fulfillment fees is Walmart. But the more services, the more options for international sellers, Amazon is the winner there. And then brand support, I feel like Amazon has a lot in place. I feel like Walmart is putting a lot in place, has done a lot over the last 24 months to put things in place for brands. And so I feel like at some point they're going to be neck and neck. But when it comes to advertising, I feel like Walmart is doing a lot, especially because of their relationship with Google to help those people that are promoting their brands or just using both of the different platforms, advertising functionality. I feel like Walmart wins there. You're going to have more competition on the Amazon side, so you have to do more to get your listing seen. So that means you got to pay more in ads and you're going to spend more money. I feel like your money is going to be better spent on the Walmart side because, again, you have a little bit less competition and they're working on their partnership with Google. So I think that you'll get a win much quicker on the Walmart side than you will on the Amazon side if you have a brand. Now, feel free to comment below and just share your thoughts and say, nope, I disagree with you on this one, or yes, I agree with you on this one. Share your comments on what you think, who you think the winners are, because I think both of them they both bring a lot to the table and a lot of opportunities for sellers. But I do encourage you, if nothing else, create your Walmart account this year because you're going to have an opportunity to make a lot of money if you create your Walmart account. So with that, this is our Walmart versus Amazon versus. Yesterday, I think we did Amazon versus eBay versus, and we're going to continue doing our comparisons. So come back for the next one so that we can see who might be best for you when it comes to selling on these platforms in 2023. So with that, we do invite you to turn up the dial on your business in 2023 and get laser focused. Let's all decide that we're going to move differently in 2023 and let's get the eCom planner. The eCom planner is the ultimate e-commerce planner. It was created for sellers by sellers. So you can go and grab the e-commerce planner at myecomplanner.com. Again, go to myecomplanner.com to grab the 2023 eCom planner. And if you need some coaching, need some support, want to ask some questions, you can type them in the chat, type them in the comment section, or you can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session by going to ecomsellers.com, clicking on free resources, and scheduling your free 20-minute coaching session. And if you need some help, some support in 2023, we invite you to join eCom Sellers Academy. eCom Sellers Academy was created specifically for sellers. So we care about your success. We want you to be successful in 2023. You can join at $17.99 a month. It's terribly affordable. You get a free arbitrage leads list every week, a free wholesale list every week. You get live free training every Tuesday, and you also get a live Q&A session. So if you have any questions about your whatever the topic happens to be or any other topic, you can definitely ask them in eCom Sellers Academy. So you can join right now. If you sign up for the lifetime, you get a free e-commerce planner. So you can sign up for the lifetime and get a free e-commerce planner. So with that, we're now going to review the weekly planning checklist. So if you haven't already done so, go download the weekly planning checklist from the e-commerce planning Facebook group. After that, if you want to talk about your business, you want to do an accountability check-in, you want to continue the conversation, you can join us live on Clubhouse so you can continue the conversation. Let's talk about whatever questions you have. If you want to continue to talk about Walmart versus Amazon, let's do it. All right, so let's go over to the weekly planning checklist. Oh, and I was going to share, I wanted to show the fees. It is really hard to be able to capture these screenshots and show the fees because, both of them are a long list to give you an idea of what the fees look like on Amazon versus Walmart. So I'm just kind of scrolling a little slowly, and you can Google this yourself to get the referral fees. Whereas Amazon, there is an additional referral fee that's over on the side that you don't have with Walmart. But for the most part, you'll see that the percentages are 8 and 10 and 12 and 15. And so there are some similarities, but Walmart also has an additional referral fee. So it is cheaper to sell on Amazon, and it may be easier to get the rotation of the buy box because you have fewer sellers on those two platforms. So with that, hopefully that's helpful. All right, so let's go through the weekly planning checklist. Gonna grab some water. All right. So with the weekly planning checklist, the reason that we kind of go through this is because we're planning for our success next week. I believe personally that if you make intentional decisions, you're intentional about what are the things you're going to focus on in your life and in your business. It will help you to make the progress that you're trying to make in 2023. So I think that you should be intentional every single day with your e-commerce business, and you should be intentional every single day in your life with whatever it is you're wanting to pull together. If you're a person that is really good at staying organized, being consistent, you're very, 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 very consistent, then you may not even need to build a template, because the first thing we're going to do is build out a template. If you're already organized, you follow a very close schedule, you're able to check off things every single day as far as progress is concerned, then again, building a template may not be for you. You may just want to go ahead and build out what's my schedule for next week. And so this exercise may not be necessary for you. But if you're a person where you find that time is getting away from you, you can't figure out what you spent your time or energy on, you find yourself getting sucked into the vortex of other things, shiny objects, going to go spaz out and watch on YouTube for several hours, or TikToks or Instagram, scrolling through, reading the news feeds. Like, if that is you, then putting together a schedule with some reminders and some alerts might help you to stay on task and help you to stay more focused. Or if you find that you are a serious procrastinator, like you specialize in procrastination, then putting together a template so that you have a guide in which to build your actual schedule each week might help you. So if you are an actual really good planner, you can move straight into building your schedule. And building the schedule, if you download the weekly planning checklist, you can go directly to page, I want to say it's page 6. Maybe it's page 6. Yeah, I think it's page 6, and go straight into building the weekly plan. Okay. And you can bypass all these activities and all these exercises and go straight to there. Go straight to step 2, which is building out your schedule and saying what you're going to do each day and each week. All right. So for the rest of us, let's go ahead and build out this template. The first thing we're going to do is, if you don't have an eCom planner, you can go ahead and actually get a notebook. You're going to need a couple of different pages for your notebook. So there's going to be a page. You probably have about, at least at a minimum, 4 pages, maybe 5. The first page is going to be a page where you document the things. You're just doing a brain dump. That's all we're doing. So we're writing out a list of things that we already do in our business. So that's what we're putting on page 1 of the notebook. Page 2 of the notebook, these are things that we feel like we need to do or must do every single day in order to be successful. Again, we're not going to isolate this just to the business. We're going to do a brain dump of everything from a need and want to do standpoint for your personal life as well. And then number 3, we're going to go through page 3 is going to be things that you feel like you want or should do. Now, the want and the should do, these are things that you know are going to move the needle in your life or in your business. So filling in the want or should do is extremely important. So that's page 1, 2, and 3. If you want to use a Google spreadsheet, you can do that as well. So if you have a Gmail account, you're going to go over to the 9 dots that are up in the upper right-hand corner next to your initials. You're going to click on that and choose the triangle that says Drive. It's a multicolored triangle. It's red, blue, yellow, and green. You'll choose that. Once you choose Drive, then you're going to go over the left-hand side. There's going to be a big plus. You're going to choose the big plus and select the spreadsheet option, which is green. So click on the big plus and select the green spreadsheet option. With the spreadsheet on page 1, at the very, very bottom of the spreadsheet in the lower left-hand corner, you have a small plus. So you're going to click on the plus again. So it will create sheet 1 and you will have sheet 2. On sheet 1, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some columns. So the first column is going to be things that you already do. These are things that you have committed time, focused time. You're not willing to move them. These are activities you do every single day, religiously or consistently, and they serve your life and your business well. They contribute positively to your life and your business. So that could be, maybe you have an established morning routine where you go and run for a jog, go for a jog, or you sit down and you journal, or you read your Bible first thing in the morning. Maybe you go to the gym and you work out. These are all things that, this is dedicated reserved time. And if it's serving your life and your business well, then you're not going to move those. Maybe Wednesday nights you go to Bible study. Maybe on Sundays you go to church. Like, what are the things that you do on a regular basis that are serving your life well, and you're not willing to move them around in your schedule? So when we look at this spreadsheet, the first 3 columns are things that you already do. So column A1, field A1, you're going to write down the words. These are things I already do. And then in B1 and C1, you're going to write down the day. So you're going to put day as the day of the week in that column, and time is in the next column. Column C1 will be time. And then you're going to go down, and you're just writing a list, and you're going to go down the column for A1, and you're going to start filling in things that you already do on a regular basis. Column B1 and C1, you're going to go ahead and start filling in which day you don't normally do those things and what time you normally do those things. Then from there, we're going to move over to column D1, E1, and F1. So E1, you're going to put down things that you feel like you need or must do, things that you know are going to improve your life and your business in 2023. So what are the things you feel like you really need to be doing? And you're just going to go down that list and write down the things that you feel like you need to be doing under column D1. E1 and F1, you're going to put down the day and the time. Now you're going to leave those columns blank when you go down, because this is where we're going to play Tetris. We're going to figure out where things fit in and what makes the most sense. So if you feel like, creating listings is going to keep your business alive, which is a fact, you're going to write down create listings. If you feel like, you're really struggling with maybe getting some exercise, and you feel like going for a walk 15 minutes every day or 30 minutes every day is really going to serve your life well and improve your health, and it will, then you're going to fill that in as one of the things that you feel like you need or must do to improve your life or your business. If you feel like last year you struggled a lot with your finances, and so creating a budget and reconciling your budget every single month is something that you don't do consistently, this is your opportunity. You can write down under column D1, create a budget, and maybe also add a separate line item for reconciling the budget, because it's great to create a budget, but if you never sit down and reconcile it, what's the point? And so again, we'll figure out which day and time that goes in, but these are all things that you feel like are going to improve your life and or your business drastically, and that you don't do consistently. You don't do them consistently. And then column, we've gone A, B, C, D, E, F. Then we're going to do G1, H1, and I1. So H1 or G1, sorry, is going to be things that you want or should do. These are things that maybe you're inconsistent about, but you do them. And so you're going to write down, going down that column, what are the things that you're inconsistent about, but you feel like they're going to improve your life or make things better. Or if it's something that you are doing that's really sucking the life out of you, those vampire related activities, or maybe vampire related people that are just not serving your life or your business well, and you want to stop doing things, then you should probably put that in. Like, what the things that you want or should. Got to stop going to lunch with the girlfriends on Friday if all they do is beat you down. If you feel like crap after going to go meet with them, if you have anxiety about going to go see them, like, yeah, that's just something that's not serving your life well, and you just need to stop doing that. Or, taking phone calls from specific people. Like, don't do those things in 2023. Let's just try to eliminate those, because they are not serving our life well. Or establish boundaries. Hello, that might be the thing you need to do. So we're going to go through and we're going to fill in column G1, but we're going to leave H1 and I1 blank, the columns going down. So you're just doing a breakdown. You're making a list and you're just going down those columns and just filling in the list. Okay. So if you're struggling with what to put on under those columns, I named a few things. Think about things that are affecting your life. Because again, God gives us 24 hours in the day. What are you doing with that time? How are you spending it? Hopefully 6 to 8 of those hours are sleeping, but what are you doing with the rest of it? So think about, spiritual things. Maybe 2023 is your year to try and, read your Bible more consistently or whatever your religion is. Maybe there's some personal things that you feel like you need more you time. Maybe you need to start journaling in 2023 and you just have not been consistent about it, or more meditation, or maybe just more long walks by yourself. Maybe you got a house full of people and a house full of kids and you're like, I need more alone time in 2023. I need to celebrate me a little more frequently to keep my sanity. Financial, are there things from a financial standpoint that you were struggling with in 2022 that you really want to not do in 2023 or improve in 2023? Fitness and health, maybe you didn't get in to see the doctor, or maybe just going to go get a monthly massage helps you. Like self-care matters. Self-care matters. So, and also maybe you need to actually see someone to be able to talk about the things that you are dealing with emotionally. All of us have gone through a little bit of a roller coaster over the last 3 years with COVID, and there's a lot of mental health challenges out there. So maybe there's an opportunity this year that you say, I want to sit down and talk with the psychiatrist once a week. There's nothing wrong with that, or psychologist. There's nothing wrong with that. So maybe that's one of the things you put down. Maybe getting more exercising, drinking more water, not more alcohol, more water, or non-alcoholic liquids. Maybe taking some supplements, maybe getting a prescription. Maybe those are some of the things you consider. And then in family and household, for me, I wrote down this year that I wanted to get Nicholas more involved in sports. And so getting him, involved with more people so that he can continue to learn how to socialize. So putting him in sports, that's one of the things I put on my list for 2023 for him. So maybe there's some things for you that you really want to improve for 2023. So what are those things? So family, household, maybe one of the things you struggle with is your morning routine and it makes you nuts, or maybe your evening routine, putting the kids to bed, and it makes you nuts. And so for 2023, maybe that's what you want to invest time doing, is fixing that so that you can have a more consistent, more independent morning and evening routine. So think about, from your household standpoint, maybe one of the things is that when you go to the grocery store, you guys go to the grocery store hungry, and so you buy everything that you see that's on the end caps, or that's on sale. That's not on sale, sorry. Like I don't know, Hostess comes out with a strawberry colored, I don't know, snowball or whatever, and you're like, oh, I want that. Versus putting together a grocery list and saying, these are the things that I need, and if we have some money left over, here's some of the things I want. So maybe there's some household things that you want to do differently in 2023. So those are just like non-business related. Now let's get into some of the business related. Maybe some of these resonate with you. From a sourcing standpoint, maybe you are not really good at looking at the upcoming holidays, seasons, and events, and ordering inventory in advance, getting those listings created in advance, sourcing those items in advance. Maybe you fall short. Maybe what you've been doing historically is that you normally acquire that inventory 3 or 4 weeks before the major event, and you know that ordering it or acquiring it 12 weeks before or 16 weeks before would actually help you to get more sales, which would actually help you to make more money. So maybe you're inconsistent about that. Maybe if you're doing print on demand, again, you're creating your listings like not in advance. Maybe you're creating those listings a few weeks before the major upcoming activity and or event or season, and you're like, I got to get better at this. And so creating those listings far in advance to help you to get more traction, more eyeballs on your listings would help you to get more sales. So maybe that's one of the things that you write down for 2023. Again, we're making the list. You have 3 columns, things that you already do, things you feel like you need to do, that you must do. to help your life and your business, or things that you want or should be doing. So that's what we're filling in here. Okay. So upcoming events, maybe you want to sell more consumables or replenishables and you just don't buy them in advance, or you don't get them in advance. Again, maybe you want to create your print on demand listings sooner. Maybe you want to explore more private label and white label opportunities, but you just don't allow yourself enough time in order to be able to sell those things. Like if you wanted to sell some private label products that are for Valentine's Day, you're way too close. You could, but it would really be white label. It's not true private label. And you'd have to move really quickly and commit a bunch of time to get that listing up and enough time to get some sales. But the point is, you don't have enough time sometimes to get samples. Doing research, product research, listing research, keyword research. Maybe you're not doing that, and that's something you need to do for 2023. When it comes to listings, like maybe for 2023, you want to get better at creating your titles or your descriptions, or take better images, or learn how to take photos. Maybe that's one of the things you want to do. Maybe your pricing, you feel like you're just throwing your pricing up and you're not really taking the time to analyze whether or not the thing that you're trying to be selling, that you have a competitive price and a profitable price. Yesterday we had a workshop here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Hopefully you'll come to the next one. But one of the things that I was talking to the seller about was about, their business and the fact that the sales, they weren't profitable. They just really did not even recognize that because they weren't doing a good job with their accounting and bookkeeping and or sourcing, thinking about, what to acquire, or creating the listings. So again, if you're one of those people that struggles with, I don't even know if I'm profitable, I don't even know if I'm making money, or I buy a bunch of stuff, but I'm not doing the best job at pricing it correctly, then this may be an opportunity for you. So write these down as a brain dump under those columns. Shipping, whether you're fulfilling the orders yourself, maybe you're inconsistent about getting your shipments out to your customers. Maybe if you're using another service and you're not doing a good job of going out there to confirm that the shipment has actually gone out. Again, things that you put on your list to get better at in 2023. So these are things you're going to do. Or maybe you want to do more FBA shipments and you're prepared. So that means that you're going to have to do a better job of sourcing and creating listings that are more compelling so you can get more sales. So administrative tasks, maybe you're not doing a good job of running reports, your platform reports, filing your taxes, doing your bank reconciliation, account reconciliation, your inventory reconciliation. Maybe you're not doing those things. Maybe you're not balancing a budget, your personal and or your business. Maybe you're not tracking receipts, or you're not tracking them consistently. Maybe that's something you want to improve in 2023. So it's something you feel like you want or should be doing in 2023. Ordering inventory, maybe you're always just before. So you miss out on the opportunity. You have all this inventory left over after Valentine's Day because your inventory arrived 3 weeks before Valentine's Day. Like those listings and that inventory should have been in place before then, long before then. And, maybe you don't have standard operating procedures in place and you want to put them in place so that way at some point you can hire a VA. Maybe you're not doing a good job with handling your customer service when it comes to your business. So being able to respond to questions in a timely manner, dealing with your returns, your refunds, your reviews, checking for reviews and replying. Like, again, maybe this is something that you feel like you need to do or that you want or should be doing. Education, taking the opportunity to learn something new and not making that the predominant thing. Like I will talk to people and they're working in their e-commerce business. And I'm asking, how many hours do you work in your business every single week? And they're like, I work 10 hours. I work 20 hours. And then I'm like, okay, how much time do you spend learning and education? They're like, I spend 8 hours learning. No. You need to be engaged in income producing activities. Learning is a wonderful thing, but you should only commit 1 hour to it, and it should be focused on a specific or singular thing. It shouldn't be something that you're doing where you're spending all this time trying to learn a whole bunch of stuff. Just learn one thing, focus on that one thing. So do you have dedicated time once a week right now in your life at 1 hour, maybe 2, depending on how many hours you work in your business? Do you have dedicated time committed to learning something new or getting better at something in your business or better understanding something in your business? So do you have that committed time in your schedule right now, or do you have it and you just spend too much time on it? So maybe you need to adjust and reduce the number of hours. Marketing traffic related activities. Do you send your listings through Pingler or Ping Farm? Are you sharing them on other social media platforms, or writing a blog about them? Are you running ads, paid ads, campaigns, promotions, coupons, sales? Are you doing any email or video marketing? Again, video marketing can be just as simple as creating TikToks, and you don't have to show your face. Are you doing anything to optimize your listings after a period of time, checking, knowing your sales stats and where you are? Are you engaging influencers that might help you to get more traffic to your listings? So I just rattled off a whole bunch of stuff, not intending to overwhelm you, just to have you think about what you really are doing in your business versus what you think you're doing in your business. Those are always two different things. I call that reality versus the dream versus reality. And if you participated in the annual planning session, there's the dream. These are the things I think I'm doing. And then the reality is this is what I'm really doing. So I'm working 10 hours in my week, 10 hours a week in my business. But the reality is I'm only spending 8 hours. I'm spending 8 hours learning, and I'm only working in my business for 2 hours. And of those 2 hours, I'm probably only working on one listing. So you're not being honest about what's happening in your business. And you may be doing that same thing when it comes to things in your life. So just saying. So taking that brain dump, whether you wrote it in a notebook or whether you wrote it in a spreadsheet, now we're going to take that brain dump and we're going to begin the process of documenting when you normally do these things. Again, we filled it in for the things that we already do, but we didn't put anything in for the things that we wrote down that we need or must do, and the things that we should be doing or want to be doing. So let's put in some days in the columns that are next to the list. And let's put in some times. This is where you're going to have to move it around a couple of times. Maybe you're going to I would encourage you to try to think about your most productive time of the day. Typically, the most productive time of the day for most of us is first thing in the morning after we've gone to sleep and we woke up and we're refreshed. Then that's typically the most productive time of the day. If you try to do that same activity right before you're about to go to bed, you might find that it takes you double, if not triple the amount of time to do the same activity that you can knock out in your most productive time of the day. So the things that are income producing, income generating, or income retaining activities, try to do those things or put those things on the list in your most productive time of the day. If you haven't taken the opportunity to figure out when that is, maybe you spend the next week trying to figure that out first. When do you feel like you get a bunch of stuff done? Or when do you know that you get a bunch of stuff done? And if you were to move that same activity to the evening, how long would it take you to do it? And try that, see what happens. That way you'll figure out when your most productive time of the day is. And then let's move those income producing and income generating things into that time of the day. You might put a star or asterisk next to the things that you feel like this is income. This is income generating. This is income producing. This is income retaining. So highlight those if you got a highlighter, or put a star next to them so that way you know which ones they are. And once you organize those, some of the things that you put on your list are going to become what we call mini habits or mini goals. An example of that is, I'm going to give you two completely different examples. One of them is creating 5 listings a day. I always start with a low number. So 5 listings a day. Maybe you're inconsistent right now. You create listings on Monday, then sometimes on Thursday, and then if you're lucky, maybe on Sunday. And then the following week, you're just random. You're like a scatter diagram, and you don't really consistently create listings. So for 2023, maybe that's what you want to do. I want to be consistent about creating listings. So you can gradually ease yourself into that. If your target is 5 listings per day, as a mini goal or mini habit, you can create 1 listing every day. Commit to next week just creating 1 listing. And then the following week, commit to creating 2 listings every single day. Now, will you actually create more than 1 listing? Probably. But the minimum required for the day is just 1. And then the next week, the minimum required for the day is 2. The following week, minimum required is 3. The following week after that, the minimum required is 4. So you can gradually work up to getting to your 5, and doing 1 a day is easily attainable. Something you can do, you're capable of doing. So that is an example of a mini goal, something that you're going to gradually increase the consistent or increase the volume on so that you can get to there. Same thing with maybe going for a walk. So maybe one of the things that you said you wanted to do in 2023 is go for a 30-minute walk 5 days a week. So maybe what you start off with is just doing a 10-minute walk. Then the next week you move up to a 20-minute walk, or maybe you do it in 5-minute increments so that you can gradually get up to 30 minutes every single day or 5 days a week. So think about what you can do to implement, whatever that happens to be, if it is one that's applicable, how you can gradually, progressively over time, slowly increment it. And then that way you can achieve that goal. The other thing that that's going to do for you, it's going to help you to build the habit of consistency around whatever that happens to be. So that when you have a day where you don't do that activity, you feel like something's missing, something's off. So once you get to a place where you're consistently listing 5 listings every single day, and maybe, 2 months from now, something happens and you don't create listings for like a couple of days, you're going to feel something is off. And that's because you've subconsciously built a habit of listing every day. And when you don't list, something feels weird and you're like, I didn't list anything today. It immediately causes you to think about it. The recall is right there so that you're going, that's what it is. I haven't listed today. Same thing with, like, you could use the example of walking. If you're used to Monday through Friday walking every single day at a specific time and then you don't walk, you feel off. Something is off. I need to go get my walk in. Okay. So that's the one. That's about many habits and many goals. The next one is habit stacking, not habit tracking. Habit stacking is like taking something that you do, and if there's something else that you should be doing, you can put those two together because they make the most sense to go together. I like to think of this like a routine. So there's a couple of things that you do in the morning that are part of a routine. We get up, we wash our face, we brush our teeth, we go to the restroom. We maybe get our shower, get our clothes. All of these things. These are all pieces of the morning routine. The order in which you do them can either be straightforward and make a lot of sense, or maybe it's a scatter diagram and it's very random. It's never the same every single day. And so habit stacking or establishing a routine might help your morning to go a lot smoother and simplify the morning if you did that. Same thing with, your evening routine. These are things that make, putting things in logical order that they make sense that you're going to be doing over and over again, where there's a level of repetition around them. When you think about your business, one of the things that you might want to create or establish a habit stack or routine around is creating your listings. Maybe it takes you forever just to get one listing up because you are all over this place. You're all over the scoreboard. So if you're doing retail arbitrage, maybe you change up that routine that when you come in the house, you already have pictures that you've taken of those products so that you can begin the process of creating listings. Maybe you have a set time now to create listings versus trying to do it as soon as you walk in the door. But one of the things that maybe you don't do very well is time gets sucked up because you don't know where you put the packages down. Where's the bags with the inventory I just bought? I don't know. Are they still in the trunk of the car? Yeah, go get them out the car. Okay. So having an established routine of where your inventory is going to go when you go out and do retail arbitrage and put it down. Maybe taking your pictures versus having to stop and start when it comes to creating your listing. Maybe taking those pictures in advance. Another thing might be is doing some keyword research in advance, knowing what your price is going to be instead of having to stop and go do product research and figure out what your description and your title is going to be, and then stop and go do keyword research, and then stop and go figure out how much you want to sell it for. And yeah, it's going to 1 hour later. It's like, okay, I got that listing up, save. No. Let's not do that. Let's figure out all the pieces that are involved in creating a listing and determine how we can put them in logical order and we can streamline the process. What's taking you the most time? So for me, when I go out and do retail arbitrage, I already know when I put it in my basket, I already know what I'm going to sell it for. That's one. 2, I already know which platforms I'm probably going to sell it on. Number 3, I already know what the dimensions of how I'm going to ship it. So I already know some things about it. So it doesn't take me that long to figure that out versus, you're having to do that research. The other thing is if I'm selling on Amazon, I go ahead and I click on, list from my phone once I put it in my basket. And so then that way it's already in my inventory, whether I'm doing FBA or whether I'm doing FBM, it's already in my inventory. So I step through that. I want to do this one FBA. I want to do this one FBM. So that way the listing already is in my back office. If I'm piggybacking off of an existing listing, it's already in my back office and I don't have to think twice about having to create the listing from scratch. So if I'm doing bundles, that's not the case. If I find existing bundles that already exist, then I can just piggyback, go find the pieces and piggyback. So my point is, again, streamline the process. So what's the routine around the activity that you're working to improve? Time blocks is definitely something that you're probably going to consider when you're creating your schedule. Having a dedicated or committed amount of time to an activity. I always suggest that when it comes to your business that you invest more time in the income producing activities and less time in the non-income producing activities. I'm not saying don't do them. I'm just saying if creating listings makes you more money because, again, people are going to be buying things from you, then that's one thing you should be doing. You should be working to create more listings and spending less time learning something. Okay. Then the next is if you don't like doing time blocks, then you can create a checklist, a daily checklist, a checklist for your personal life and a checklist for your business. So going through and establishing a checklist. And last but not least, some of the goals or things that you write down that you're going to be doing, you're going to establish SMART goals. SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable or achievable, relevant or realistic, timely or time bound. So there's a time frame associated with them. An example of a SMART goal might be that for the month of January, you said that you wanted to create 500 new listings. So I would take that number and I would break it down for the number of weeks in the month of January. So there's 4 weeks and a few days. Maybe you just go with the 4 weeks for right now. And I would divide that 500 by 4. That's 125 listings a day. At 125, sorry, not a day, a week. That's 125 listings a week. So 125 times 4 is 500. Then I would further break down that 125 and maybe I do 25 listings every single day, Monday through Friday. So 25 listings times 5 is 125. So you just break down what it is that you're doing so that you can achieve that SMART goal. So again, your SMART goal is 500 for the month. You'll know whether or not you're going to hit that based on the work that you do every single day. So that's an example of a SMART goal. You could also have one for walking or you could, your personal stuff. So figure out what are the things that you want to work on in your personal life. So once you have, figured out which ones make sense, that are going to be mini habits, mini goals, routines, or habit stacking, which ones you're going to do time blocks on, or you just want to do checklists over time blocks, that's fine. And which ones you're going to have SMART goals that are going to be measurable. The next thing is, you're filling in your dates and you're going to go to the fourth page, and build a template, the activity that you're going to engage in at a specific time. So maybe you say, I'm going to create listings Monday through Friday at 1:00 every day, or I'm going to create listings Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So that's what you're going to be doing from a time block standpoint. That's what you're going to be doing. And so that's what that time block is. And you're going to fill that in for everything that's on your list. Figure out where it goes. Where is it going to fit based on your life and your schedule? And so you're building a template of activities that you're going to engage in from a personal standpoint and a business standpoint. After you build this template out, the next thing is that you're going to test drive this template for a few weeks. You're going to tweak it. And just know that you're going to have multiple templates in a year. It makes sense to have multiple because there are aspects of your life that don't stay the same. So things may be different for you in Q4 than they are right now in Q1 or Q2 or Q3. Things are different for me when the kids are out of school versus when the kids are in school. So again, I have a completely different template based on the different seasons and times in my life. I have different templates, and you're probably going to have the same thing. So you're going to test drive the template for a few weeks and figure out which ones you like. That way, you'll have a template for each season as you shift in life. Now, how do we use that template to create our actual schedule? So the actual schedule or the actual activities you're going to do next week, this is where you're going to take that template and it's going to help you to fill in the blanks. So the first thing before we start building our actual schedule is we're going to go and review our monthly plan. If you didn't participate in the monthly planning sessions, I encourage you to go back and listen to the January monthly planning session first. Second, you're going to figure out what's the priority for next week. What is, if nothing goes right, what is the one thing that you need to get done next week, no matter what? So, or two things, or three things. So that's going to help you identify your top 3 or top 5 priorities for the week. It can be a blend of personal and business. It doesn't always have to be these are the priorities for the week for business. So for me, I have a mix and match. Sometimes it's 3 things that are business related and 2 things that are personal. Sometimes it's 3 things that are personal and 2 things that are business related. That if nothing else goes right, I got to get these things done next week. So one of the things that might go on your list is if you're an arbitrager, then creating your listings or activating your listings for Valentine's Day should be on your list. That's the priority for the week because you need to make sure those listings are live. They probably should have already been live. Like December the 25th or December the 15th, they probably should have been live then. But the point is making sure your Valentine's Day listings are live or ordering your inventory from China. If you're a person that orders inventory from China, that should be your priority for next week because you know that there's going to come a window where China is shut down for the Chinese New Year and they're talking about potentially shutting it down early. So I would put that down as a priority for next week if that is a thing that you do. Okay. Maybe the priority for next week, like I was working on neuropsych evals for my kids and then, scheduling some time with the attorney because we have to go meet before the judge for guardianship. So, these are all priorities for me. So going through and scheduling time with the attorney so we can get these things done before we get too late because it all has to be in place before they turn 18. So that journey of doing those activities. So again, figure out what the priorities are for you and the things that are important for next week specifically. Then take a look at what you feel like should be the habit that you're tracking for the next 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. What is it that you're tracking for the next 30 days that you really want to improve or get better at or just be consistent around? That should go into your habits that you're tracking for the week. Drinking water every single day, going for a walk, reading a Bible, whatever that happens to be for you. If one of your habits for 2023 is you said, I want to tell my kids I love them more, then write that down. It's one of those things you can check off and say, I did it. I mean, that's really that's not a harsh one. It's a good one, but it's like kind of weird, but it's okay. It's your list. It doesn't matter what it is. You're going to figure out what it is that you feel like is important that you need to get better at. So write down what makes sense for you and your life and your schedule. Then the last part of this is the last part of building out the schedule for next week. Now that you have those top 3 that we talked about before, you're reviewing the monthly plan, figuring out what your weekly priority is going to be for next week, and then also what are the habits that you're continuing to track for the next 30 days. Now we're going to build out the actual schedule. So you take out the template and you go, okay, if it says that I am creating listings every single day from 8 to 9, what type of listings am I creating? What are those listings? If it says that I am ordering inventory for April, what inventory am I ordering and who am I ordering it from? Again, you're going to get detailed as to the activity so that way the things that need to get done actually get done. So if it says that I am shipping inventory, what inventory am I shipping to Amazon? What inventory am I shipping to WFS? What inventory am I shipping to, Deliver or any other fulfillment center? If it says that I'm going to be learning something new next week, what am I learning in that learning window? So the what and the who or how, like all of those matter. And this is where you're going to plug in where those space savers are, those time blocks are. You're going to fill in exactly what it is you're going to be doing. That's going to help you to be far more consistent. And it's also going to help you to start getting the progress that you need and want in your business. The more progress you can make about being consistent, the better you're going to start seeing gradual improvements in your business. Over time, that level of consistency is going to help you. So I hope this is helpful. Go and fill in the what's for everything so that you know what you're doing next week. Review it a couple of times, tweak it, and then go write it in your e-commerce planner or write it in your notebook for next week. So Monday, this is my schedule, or these are the things I'm doing. Tuesday, these are the things I'm doing, or this is my schedule. Wednesday, this is what I'm doing. So write it down so that you can use it in the weekly planning or the daily planning sessions. Okay. Don't overlook those administrative tasks that are going to matter, taxes, blah, blah, blah. And don't overlook your personal things as well. This is the time in which to either to stop doing things that you don't want to do from a personal standpoint or start doing things that you want to start doing from a personal standpoint, whether it be family, household, fitness, financial. So I'm going to use the example of my family. So we typically go shopping every Friday. So we've done our meal planning and we know that we're going to go shopping on Friday so that Saturday we can actually prep our meals Saturday evening. That's how we do things. So what is your routine? What is your plan? So I hope this is helpful. I hope you use this to build a really good schedule for next week and plan for your success. Be intentional, be intentional, be intentional. Because I believe that incremental improvements implemented over time can reshape the future of your business, and it can also reshape the future of your life. You just have to do it incrementally instead of trying to do it all at one time. Just take small bite-sized pieces and implement them slowly over time, and you'll start to see the improvements in different areas of your life. So I hope this is helpful. My name is Nicole Whitlock. My passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, helping them to get organized, get focused, get consistent in their business. If that is you, I invite you to schedule a 20-minute coaching session so we can talk about your business. Other than that, we're still live on Clubhouse. If you want to continue the conversation, you can go hop on Clubhouse right now. And my prayer, my hope, my wish for you is that you have an amazingly blessed, extremely focused, and highly profitable day. And we will say goodbye for now. Bye, y'all.